on this week's episode of I-45 Confidential.
Yeah, but anytime you make a deal with the devil, you cannot be responsible for what happens after that.
These women were going back and they knew what he was doing to them. Janice Dickerson, she knew he was dropping pills in her drink. She knew it.
They went up to a man who was married hotel at 3 a.m.
I understand that, y'all. I get what you're saying, but it does not make it right.
If they would show it right now, which they don't anymore, but if they would show it, I would let my kid watch the Cosby Show.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Was it on the Cult Leader channel?
She's a cult leader. She's a cult leader.
You are about to witness a conversation, a confidential conversation between lifelong friends. For more than 3 decades, they've laughed, cried, yelled, danced, traveled, and learned together. They are experts in nothing, but experienced in life. Welcome to the conversation, and welcome to I-45 Confidential.
Hey, y'all, it is me, Kim, the social butterfly, the Afro chameleon. I'm here today with my girls, my confidants. You know how we come. We are having confidential conversations, and you are always welcome to join us, baby. Today, we will be discussing cancel culture. Who are we canceling? But before we do that, we don't want to cancel my friends. So we have the lovely Rochelle.
Okay. I am the friend least likely to call you back, but I'm taking my medicine and things are getting better.
Okay. That's what we like to hear.
Okay.
We have the awesome Miss Myretta Lynn.
She did the whole government name. Yep, that's me, the unicorn. I had a baby at 40.
Okay. And also my favorite roommate, Miss Elise.
Oh, why you cutting your eyes at me? That doesn't seem right. It's authentically Elise here. I'm rock steady and I'm ready. Let's go.
It's probably because you won't let me take a nap. Anyway, we're discussing cancel culture today. What is it? Who's been canceled? Who's being canceled? And why is it necessary to cancel these people?
Okay.
What do y'all have? What do y'all think?
The whole thing is, we talked about this, the problem with when they try to cancel somebody, they actually cancel the music with them. And I'm not okay with that, because I think an art, and I say that as an artist, what the artist has created and what the artist does in his personal life are two separate things. I can appreciate the art, without approving of the person.
Here,
I really think.
But the problem with that is they are still making money off of that,
right?
Every time,
and they should make money off of their art. They should make money off their art
because that was their job first, or they got into whatever it was.
Your job should be in jail.
Their job was in jail because we can't still listen to the music or whatever it is.
And if it's something that's, listen, all that stuff that went down, I do not listen to R. Kelly. It has to be playing somewhere, okay?
Yeah, it has the same
I will
thing.
not play it ever.
Right.
All that stuff that y'all watch, and I had friends who were diehard, didn't believe, until those things came out. And it was like, why did it have to take all of that for you to believe that, and listen, there's predators all over the place, but some predators with money seems to be a whole different breed.
Yeah,
Yes.
but again, and we had this conversation too, where there were people's families, mothers and fathers, who gladly gave their children to R. Kelly.
And I have a problem with those people too.
It's not that the blame doesn't go around, Shell. If that person wasn't making that money in the first place to do all the extra things that they did.
No, I'm just
Right, because I will ask again, if you're in this inner circle, R. Kelly won, and I know they said it was Sparkle's niece. You're in this inner circle. You've heard these things about this person. You already know. Why would you want to bring your niece around that? Why would you want to bring your child around that?
No.
You've heard those stories. So because you've heard those stories, and then I don't know who went and got the girl. I have no idea. But that wasn't the first time the little girl had been around him. You're there. You know these things are going on. I would have said to my sister or brother or whomever, hey, I don't want her around here because this is what they're saying about him. It's not safe for her to be around these people.
everybody don't think like you.
I know, and that's sad.
It's surprising to me because, there's things we just couldn't do.
But you have to protect these
girls.
these boys
Everybody
too.
who was complicit in that sacrificed those girls so they could live a better life. Whether it was a parent, whoever was surrounding R. Kelly at the time, his family, whatever.
People only do things that benefit them.
That's right.
So everybody in that situation, mostly everybody in the situation was benefiting from it. It was a mutual understanding.
They sacrificed.
I'm not saying it's right. But I assure you. And not only that, but that happens. It's not just with money. It's about power. It's not about money. It's about power. And power allows people to do things that they don't normally do. And they think
power with money that's an added.
It's an added bonus. But and then being famous is a whole nother thing.
Right. And I've said before, like Shia LaBeouf, I will forever have beef with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Forever. I don't want to watch the Transformers movies. Anything he's in, I don't want to watch. I don't. I'll never watch it because of what he did to Twigs. Twigs, yeah. I will always, forever have a problem with that. You rewired a person's nervous system. Okay. How do you rewire someone's whole nervous system? I have a problem with that.
If you're in the throes of addiction, and I'm not saying it's right. That's not what I'm saying at all. But people you're in addiction, you do certain things, and I understand it hurts certain people. What happens when the person is sober? Should we still cancel them for the things for their past?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't want anybody to cancel me for something I did in the past.
Listen, if you rewired someone's nervous system, if you held a gun to this person, if this person was living in terror of you, if you have drug your feet on a lawsuit, I would never talk to you again. I would never want to see your face again because you to me are still a bad person. Because currently he is supposed to be sober, but he's dragging his feet on the lawsuit that this girl has against him. So you're showing me, and even though didn't he admit it that he had done it, and then his lawyers came back and said, don't say that. And he took it all back.
Okay, can I play devil's advocate?
Of course you can.
How about this? Now, with the Shia LaBeouf thing, that's a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the R. Kelly thing first. So this is just my opinion, okay? Once he was convicted, he should not be able to make money off of the stuff that was already put out. So that's a form of your punishment. You've done this art, but it still shouldn't mean that people shouldn't be able to listen to the music. You should just not be able to be compensated for it going forward.
Yeah, but it's not just him who benefits from his music.
No, I know that. It's a whole team, but guess what? Unfortunately, the whole team did know about what's going on.
Yeah, they have to suffer the consequences.
That's only fair, because that's just my opinion. Because I think if you do it like that, music can still be a part of our culture. That really is. All the stuff that he did for other people and stuff like that. Because if you cancel him, that means you cancel everybody that he's produced, written for, and all of that, because he's still going to be making money. So you know how many people that you would really end up not being able to listen to? White, black, Hispanic, all of that he's produced and everything.
Unfortunately, they all knew who he was as well.
So how much music do we have left? No,
you don't think that
that's what I said devil's advocate.
No, but you don't think people knew what Diddy was doing?
Yes. Of course. Of course.
They know.
Diddy should have been taken out a long time ago. For one, I don't see... He should have been taken out a long time ago. But when he was beating that girl's ass, and whoever owned that hotel and they sat on that videotape. That's a lawsuit
for them too. Yeah.
That's horrible. These people knew who he was. The bodyguard would constantly get in between the two of them. The bodyguard, I've seen pictures and videos of the bodyguard watching him, making sure that he doesn't go off on this girl. He pulled that girl's hair out. That's why she shaved her head. She shaved her head because he pulled her hair out. You think he doesn't? He should have been canceled a long time ago.
Monsters, yo. And when you say addiction, Shell, and I understand that, but listen, when you come to your sober moment, say it happened once. Okay. But you know that's what happened to you with your addictive ass, whatever. That's what happens. Take accountability right then and there to say, you know what, I don't want to be that person. And if you don't, and you keep going back.
But you could throw money at it. You could throw money at it. And people will just say, shh. He's going to give you some. Bill Cosby, it's the same fucking thing. These women were going back and they knew what he was doing to them. Janice Dickerson, she knew he was dropping pills in her drink. She knew it. She knew she was being raped, and she was continually going back to it. I personally don't see why he was canceled, because these people knew it was happening to them. They knew it. And not all of them. I agree, not all of them, but the large majority of them knew. And not only that, don't you think they talked?
I think there's enough. If it's just one that didn't know, then that's one's enough for me.
Right. Of course, I understand that.
It should
but
go
again, don't you think they talked? These people knew that man was a payday. His wife would pay them off.
But
Bill Cosby
the same thing about somebody saying, can you come up to my hotel at 2 a.m. so we can read for this part? Now,
why
if you go up there, I'm sorry. And that's with all due respect. There are certain things I would not do. They thought that they would get something, and he thought he would get something in return. Both of those people. And yeah, he has power, but then what you want is what he has.
What you're saying is that they open themselves up to it. And I understand that.
To a degree.
It does not make it right.
No, it doesn't. Okay. And I don't want anyone to think that we're
because
victim
these women
blaming.
didn't say, even if just one was violently, that's enough. And it was more than one.
Yeah, but when you put yourself in a predicament, whose responsibility?
It's the victim's fault,
No, it's not what I'm saying. If it's hot and you touch it, you see what I'm saying? I really feel a certain way.
At what point, Shell, that doesn't make any sense.
So let me say this.
If I open my door to some man that's going to sell me something, it's going to benefit me, and we're having a conversation about some random business, something, and he me. I opened myself up to it.
No, they went up to a man who was married to a hotel at 3 a.m.
I understand that, Shell. I get what you're saying, but it does not make it right. It just does not.
No, it doesn't make it right.
I understand what you're saying. Like, you shouldn't go. That happened to me. I went on a date with this guy a while ago now. We're on this date, whatever. And he didn't live in town, supposedly. I don't know. And we got back to the hotel and where I met him. And we went in the car and had dinner and whatever, came back. And he was like really urging me to come upstairs. And I was like, no. Good night. I'm out. I understand. But there's also something that sometimes it's, let me just take a chance. Maybe it's going to be okay. How many of us have done that?
Yeah, that's true.
You put yourself somewhere you shouldn't be. We've done it a million times when we were younger, for sure.
No, not as much. I can
a million times when we were younger, for sure.
That is
we
true.
went places we had no business being when we were in college.
No, okay, me personally.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And because we did it so many times, what does that mean? We did it so many times. We put ourselves in that predicament so many times. And most of the time, it was fine.
But for me, I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what both of you are saying. But for me, I'm going to bring up Janice Dickerson again. You're going somewhere and you know it's happening and you keep going back and you keep going back. So when you keep going back, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You keep returning. That's a problem. You going back and you're telling people like, hey, he's going to do this and it's going to be okay. And so they go and they keep going back because they're getting paid off of that.
All of these
Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen. Thank you, guys. Munchausen syndrome. May not be able to say it, but I know what it is. So maybe for some of those people, not all. I'm just giving an example like with Janice Dickerson. So she knows what's going on, and she is, like you said, she's benefiting from it too. You know what I'm saying? And she is now making it mentally okay for herself to do
That's
so.
not Munchausen.
Well, which one is it?
Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm?
Could be Stockholm is when you
my apologies. My apologies, my audience.
But I don't think that's Stockholm syndrome either. I think that was I'm getting money and I'm going to keep going back. That's honestly what I believe.
To say? Maybe it was a little bit of both.
She agreed. She said it.
But not just her, but for other people.
Yeah, but if everybody was held accountable for the things they did when they were younger.
That's what I keep saying. What's going to be left? In prime example, you guys, we talked about watching the Cosby Show. I don't think it should have been canceled.
It was good.
It was good for the entertainment purposes, not necessarily
and even for the
what
culture.
the actor did. Correct.
There was a
yeah, but once you taint it that way, it's no longer like a viable thing. It's
the same thing with R. Kelly's music. It's tainted.
Tainted forever.
And you
know what? There's
it may be, but I'll always have it in my head that I watched it for the entertainment purposes. Even after, if they would show it right now, which they don't anymore, but if they would show it, I would let my kid watch the Cosby Show.
I understand that. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. It's not I'm not even gonna say the term catch-22, but it's one of those things that you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But when you start messing with the culture, then that's where I have an issue with it. Not for what they did. Everything they did was wrong, incorrect, not right.
Yep, but we had the conversation about the Nazi regime and creating the Volkswagen and a lot of things that they gave us. And anybody would say they agree with the Nazi regime. But there are things that we benefit from till today that they gave us. I'm not saying what they did was right. But if we try to say this, okay, we're going to cancel this one, but we're not going to cancel that one. And we had talked about it being a generational thing. Once you're a little bit far removed from it, it no longer feels relevant to you. What happened then, that's a long time ago.
But y'all think it's dying off then? Because think about it. All the people that they're currently canceling that are of major success are of an older
baby boomers and all the Generation X.
Even if you talk about Mr. Weinstein and all that, of that, you see what I'm saying? Those are dying out. Now, you don't hear about, and maybe it could be because of the simple fact that they're not making as much money as those other people. Younger generations doing as much as what they did.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that if that's dying off, then maybe it is a possibility. It's going to still be there. We already know trafficking is still going to be there. But just not as much money to do so for others.
I think with those younger ones, they probably have a pretty good team that recognizes if they keep it sewed up and keep it close in, then they can ride this gravy train for as long as they possibly can. You know what I mean? So that's why we don't really hear about younger artists, I believe.
So you think that makes them smart or just opportunistic? Because they're taking care of an opportunity and be like, hey,
they understand.
Y'all keep it in,
right.
Keep it tight, keep it quiet. Loose lips sink ships. Shorter list, shorter the risk. All of that.
I watched Flight, okay, so I watched Flight. It's a movie with Denzel Washington. He's a pilot, and he was drinking and cocaine, right?
Yeah.
So when they got his and the plane he flew the plane upside down, and the plane glided. It was so well written that I thought it was a true story. And
I was going to ask you, was it true?
It's not. He flew it in. I think it was like 102 people on the plane, and out of 102 people, I think 6 died. It was a mechanical error, but when he landed it, 6 people died. 2 of them were flight attendants, right? They got his toxicology report and they killed it. Got me thinking, how often does this happen? Even though this was a movie.
Yeah.
And with movies, they tell us a lot of stuff in plain sight. They put a lot of stuff in plain sight.
Yep.
How often are these tox reports or these reports or whatever reports killed?
Yeah.
We don't hear about it.
I think way more killed than be come to life.
So I think that's the team being smart by killing it. And I think it's also them saying, hey, get it together so we're going to kill it this time. We don't want to have this issue again. So that's what I think it is going on with the younger ones. That's just my belief. I could be wrong, but that's just what I believe. Because of course they're young and they can still make money. They can still make all this money, and they're great actors or singers or whatever, and they're still making money. Like Chris Brown. I know Chris Brown, how he abused Rihanna. He never got canceled. And then you have to wonder why.
His momentum, he lost momentum.
A little bit, yeah.
No, he lost a lot of momentum.
Because I mean, he was headed straight for the top. I'm talking icon status,
Michael Jackson status.
Yeah, but
he is. I mean, let's be honest.
He's really
up
good.
There. He's back up.
Yeah.
He's back up on the charts. He's high, but we never say, "Oh, y'all remember he beat up Rihanna?" Like we never.
But according to conspiracy theory, not to interrupt you, but the reason why they got into it was because supposedly she gave him something that she had gotten from supposedly Jay-Z. Now, when he went to confront her, allegedly that she was already performing on somebody else. They got into it. He was doing the whole, allegedly, he was doing the whole like, you know what, bitch, just move. In the vehicle when they were driving and all this other kind of stuff, that's when arguments started and all of that. And so allegedly, it was like one of those kind of get off me. It wasn't just like pow, 2 piece in the biscuit type of thing. It wasn't like
the
that.
Pictures. Those pictures, that girl got beat up. That wasn't no girl
you know what,
move.
Kim,
That was
if I get popped in the eye, even on accident, I'm a bruiser.
But wasn't her lip busted up too?
She was a mess.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it didn't happen. What I'm saying is what we saw was her. They never showed what he looked like because she did get some licks in and all this other kind of stuff, but he was trying to tell her, listen, you gave me something that I can no longer get rid of ever. It's all allegedly. It's all allegedly. But that's why he had allegedly so many other artists backing him up, because some of them knew a portion of what could have been possibly the truth.
The truth is, we know that people will do a lot of things that they wouldn't normally do to be around people who have money and who have status. Period.
I guess I ain't never been around that kind of money.
Period. I know someone personally who has access to certain people, and the things I hear all the time about what people do, I have a totally another understanding of how people act when they think they're around people who have power and money. They're not themselves. They're not. Then they will do anything. Like we had talked one time, my brother and I, about everybody having a price. And I said, I don't have a price. He said, you have a price. It's just real high. They said, and it's not, some people's prices are really low. And I said, no, I don't. There's certain things, no matter how much money you gave me, I would not do.
That's integrity.
I would not do it.
Let's go back
y'all already know.
Let's go back to the movie Indecent Proposal. I feel, number one, we can pay for counseling.
Well, we got the money.
Number two,
okay.
It wasn't just some scumbum. This was a billionaire providing health records and all this. He didn't even say that he really was going to sleep with her. He said, I wanted to be with your wife for a night. That was the verbiage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what they interceded, that's why the whole movie took that turn and everything. He's going to want to sleep with you and blah, 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 and this and that and this and that and this and that. In the very beginning of the movie, that's what's so funny. If you go back and rewatch it, I want to spend the night with your wife. So you can take it different ways. You really could.
Yeah, but anytime you make a deal with the devil, you cannot be responsible for what happens after that. I always think about that when I think the first time you do it is the hardest. The second time is a breeze. Mm-hmm. The first time that actress decides she's going to give in to that casting director, it's hard. Mm-hmm. Second time is a breeze.
But not just actresses. It's everywhere.
It is. It is. But we just
at all levels. Too.
All levels, and and I'm glad we're at the point where we can talk about it. It can finally be addressed. But I think the only reason why it's being addressed is because there are more women in the workplace, more women in power. We're in places that we weren't before.
So you saying we should do stay our asses at home at the man
I
make
did
the
not
money?
say that. I did not say that.
I know.
Although I think that we should raise our children, and if we can. But that's also, we'd like to have a man who takes care of his wife and takes care of his children. But that's a whole other story. I feel the whole thing with Michael Jackson, it was all opportunist. Some people think he did.
First of all, Michael did not do it.
He did not.
It's so crazy that so many people believe that.
Completely believe.
He did not do it.
No, some people, and I just don't believe it.
I hear that from not just black people, white people too. Yeah,
but OJ, that motherfucker did it.
He did it.
He did it. Okay, let's just be clear.
That was
Definitely
different.
did it.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
I don't think he did.
I think OJ did it.
He did it.
Nope.
No, he did it, and nobody searched for the real killer.
I don't think he did it. I think his son did it.
Really?
I truly believe his son did it.
Could have been.
I think that. I think
two
the
older
son
kids.
did
You
it.
don't remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Right. I think
with the black
his son
woman.
did it.
Yes.
Right. I think his son did it, and I think he covered it for his son. That's my belief.
Do you think it's because? Well, I think that because of
Good conspiracy theory, Kim. Good one.
I've heard that too, but I think it's a possibility for sure.
Do you think it's fair? I say that because you think it's fair that if you have money, you have different rules.
That's always been the rule.
No, it's not fair.
No,
it's not, but that's been the rule.
Depends on what part of on which side you find yourself.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, no, because seriously, I was watching TV.
It's not fair though.
Yeah, imagine if I needed a kidney or something.
First of all, I can't help you. My kidneys ain't right.
Is it okay to go overseas and pay for one? And I'm a star and I got the money and I could do it.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. I will do it.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm about 2 or 3.
If I have the money, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Can I get a kidney in a spare?
I'm doing it.
And then people are like, why is he? Because you can.
Yeah.
And you would do it too.
Magic Johnson went and got that pink pill way before everybody else had it.
What pink pill?
When he had AIDS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the pink pill.
Had, exactly.
You're supposed to have
no,
it
that's
for
what
life.
I'm saying. Yeah, I'm giving you an example.
Okay.
When he first found out, oh Lord, he got the thing. What? The thing.
Yeah.
The package.
Went somewhere, came back, popped that one pink pill.
It wasn't one pill. I'm sure
It may not have been. That's just an example.
okay, I'm
but
just
you know
saying.
what I'm saying? Wasn't bought for it before it was anything that they was actually doing here.
AIDS hasn't been cured, guys.
It's not.
And how long ago was that?
Exactly. Another one.
Cancer hasn't been cured either.
It hasn't.
And
It's lucrative.
Right.
Lucrative.
I don't think that's the case. I don't believe in that particular.
Conspiracy. That's the
They're
truth.
going by lungs and kidneys and stuff. Like, why is that so far fetched?
Because that's the truth too.
No, why would it be? How would I say this?
Ask yourself the question first.
Why would something that would benefit humankind be so people would not want that to happen?
The money.
Yes. Yes.
Always coming up with something. It's the money. How did they cure COVID or come up with something for COVID faster than they did HIV and AIDS? Faster than they did cancer. How did they come up with that in a year? Less than a year?
Money?
Well, I have my own thoughts about that.
I'll give another example.
But my point
go ahead.
is Big pharma, there's money to be made in cancer. There's money to be made in AIDS, multiple sclerosis. There's money to be made in these diseases that could be cured.
But what I was told by, she's actually a dentist, a lady I met. Dentists are doctors.
Yes, they are.
But she said in the medical community, what was known was that half of that thing was already created. So they just had to piece together the last half of whatever the cure is. I'm not a scientist.
For what? For COVID?
Yeah. I think they had like half of that equation already done. And so and they probably had been working on it already, but
considering it was allegedly man-made.
Yeah. Why did so many people cancel the damn vaccine? I'm so mad about that. Why is that a problem?
I didn't want to take that shit.
I didn't want to take it. You know what? I didn't want to take it. No.
I never take a flu shot.
I wouldn't take it. I'm taking everything they're giving.
No.
You will not. Tuskegee Airmen show you why.
What else do we need to get?
I think
that's just one.
The best.
Okay, everybody keeps saying that same one. We need a new one.
Shit. You know the reason why you keep saying that same one is because it went on for so long. They killed so many people, black men. That's why you don't have to tell me no more.
It wasn't just that. They did a lot of experiments on black women. Mm-hmm. A lot of
the one woman,
Henrietta Lacks.
Thank you. I was about to say I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
But
her sales,
y'all, sometimes I hate when we have these conversations because I'll be wanting to research real quick and come back.
Yeah,
but then we've got an audience.
Yeah.
And the government, come on, man. Don't get me started on that government. We should cancel the government. But
which part of it? All of it?
All of it. And start again.
I'm sorry, because we talked about this earlier. The new doctor I'm going to,
mm-hmm.
she told me when I was telling her about my symptoms and what I was feeling and the rash and about my parents' history and stuff, because it was pretty thorough.
Mm-hmm.
She said there's a lot of lingering things from COVID. Not the vaccine necessarily, but COVID, that they don't really know what's going on because they're all random things. Mm-hmm. But a lot of doctors think it's linked to
nothing.
I have heard.
But there's random things from us eating seedless watermelons,
but things that they're not, they weren't seen before,
and we don't even know what will happen in the future.
No, we don't.
About
you went back for the booster.
Exactly. No, I'm not talking about that. If I can eat seedless watermelon, I can take a flu shot.
Take a flu shot. I'm like Elise. I do not take flu shots.
And you know what? I take that back, y'all. I lied. I had to take the COVID shot when my best friend got married. At that time, we had to get on the boat. You had to have that shot to be able to get on the boat.
I gladly took it. I don't know what that says about me.
I did not gladly take it. And
I gladly took it.
You know who never took it?
Who?
One of my children. I'm not going to. Parker had to take it. Jordan did not.
Sarah's father never took it. Never took it.
I was very upset with him because the only reason we all got the shot, or why I took the shot, is because we went to go see my grandmother. We hadn't seen them.
Yeah.
We hadn't, and the only way to get there was
you had to have a shot.
That's the only reason I did. So I was going to see my grandmother. You couldn't fly anyway, and nobody wanted to get her sick.
Yeah.
And the only reason I took it is because of work. Like they were insisting that we take it, and then they were mandating it. Anyway, we're discussing cancel culture today.
But I just, again, I like me some R. Kelly.
And not the person, but the music. I really get that show.
Yeah, but R. Kelly, the music is okay. There's two people. There's R. Kelly the artist, and there's R. Kelly the person.
No, I just don't Robert Kelly.
I never liked him either way, and I've said this before.
Yeah,
from the jump when he married Aaliyah, I have said I did not like him. I stopped listening to him. I stopped listening to her music. It was completely like, and I was like 19, 20 when that happened. Completely. So I'm not saying that I've never sang Fiesta.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that or beep, whatever it is.
Okay. Got a key in the ignition.
But I'm not a fan of R. Kelly. So whether they get rid of all of his music, it wouldn't matter to me, not one bit.
Okay.
Because he married Aaliyah. And I felt that way about Aaliyah. It took forever for me to even like Aaliyah again after she divorced R. Kelly. She was a child.
Well, yeah, you realize certain things when you get older.
I feel like she was preyed upon. And I felt like she was done a disservice by those around her.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel because, again, her uncle was in the music. He introduced them. Like, he knew, like, this doesn't just happen overnight. You hear rumblings of people, oh, he's hanging out at the high school. Oh,
he was.
It just doesn't happen overnight. These things are going on. I just feel like someone preyed upon her.
Do you think when you're younger, age differences... It is more than them. Like in Texas, if a 17-year-old dates an 18-year-old, they can go to jail. It's statutory rape.
But I think the age of consent is 17 now.
It is since when?
I think it is. I don't have my phone.
It wasn't when you
was
was 17. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I would look it up, but I think. Can you look and see what the age of consent is in Texas?
Sure.
But I think it's 17. I think.
Okay, and you can consent to a lot of things you can do. You can.
But I think age period, because like me personally, I don't believe an 18-year-old should be out in the world on their own
because they're not mature.
They're
enough.
not ready for that. I think if you can't buy cigarettes until you're 21, can't buy liquor until you're 21. I think we need to hold them, not necessarily hold them, but now you're starting to introduce them more at 18 out into the world, and you're helping them more, but you don't put them out at 18.
Now, after Elise gives that information, I want to go back to something that you said, Kim.
Okay.
Age of consent
The age
in
of
Texas.
consent in Texas is 17 years old.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Okay.
If I want to go with R. Kelly and I'm 17,
You consent to being peed on.
Damn.
And so she went there.
Yeah, you consented to that. We can't say nothing about it. But when you're a 14, 15-year-old, 16-year-old girl,
Yeah.
and you're saying, yeah, okay, you can tell me, it's against the law, sir.
okay.
Statutory.
And how would she even know that about that to begin with?
Okay.
So you said, Kim, you said it took you a while to start liking Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
But in the very beginning of our conversations, you were saying that person, how was the verbiage? It was like, what I'm saying is you were able to go back and still like Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm. Shia LaBeouf. That's what you're talking about? Because I don't like Shia LaBeouf. Aaliyah, I was already an Aaliyah fan. I was already a fan too, but my problem with him is Aaliyah did not go and rewire anyone's nervous system. Wasn't holding anyone hostage. So she was a child, and I understand that she was a child. Yeah, she was a child. Shia LaBeouf, he was not.
Oh, no, that's what it was. It wasn't Shia LaBeouf. My apologies, guys. It was when we were referring to, damn, this menopause. Okay, it was in regards to doing things in your youth. Mm-hmm. And then having to face the issues once you're older. Now, I understand that she was a child, but it was something in her youth. Mm-hmm. So some people still look at her like it was her fault and her parents' fault. But a lot of people still went on to still be a fan.
But she wasn't even 18, so it could not have been. You can't put that on a child.
She was a child.
She was
regardless.
18. She was a child. She was, what, 16? She was a kid. And somebody, children always want to please their parent.
Think about how old is your child right now?
Right. He's going to do what you want him to do.
He's about to be 13. He's 13.
He's going to do what you want him to do.
Thinking about him in 2 more years. How much do you really expect him to mature and make good decisions?
He ain't gonna make no mature and good decisions probably till he's 25.
Thank you.
But see, him as a child, I feel like she did what was told to her. Hey, listen, yeah. Come on, go ahead and marry him so you can go out on this tour, because that was the excuse they used. Go ahead and marry him. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, that way we don't have to be parental parents there.
As a child, you're going to do what your parents are telling you to do because you think they're doing the right thing for you at that time.
Because they love you more than that much.
Because why would your parent hang you out to dry?
Money.
You don't know that as a child.
Oh, you mean from the?
That's why they trust
from the
your
child's
parents.
perspective.
From a child's perspective, you don't know that as a child that your parent is going to do that. You think as a child, you think your parent is protecting you. They have all the answers, and it makes sense. And especially if she was already sleeping with him, because it was alleged that she was sleeping with him already, and she had to have a procedure. Allegedly, she had to have a procedure. So if she's already sleeping with him, and it's a secret between the two of them, then it's, I can marry him and I can go on tour with him and I don't have my parents and I can sleep with him freely. Right.
Okay, let's go.
Normalized.
Let's go down the list of people who have been canceled.
Oh God, we ain't got that kind of time.
Yeah, we do. Now it's Dr. Dre. It then came up again. The things he used to do back in the day.
I believe it.
I believe it because, of course, we all saw he beat up D. Barnes.
Yep.
Didn't he jump off that truck and chase her down the street and beat her up?
Yep.
So it's that he's capable of violence. Why he wasn't canceled? I don't know. Maybe because he had enough sense to go sit his ass down somewhere and
we canceling the whole chronic. We canceling it all. What are we doing?
Please let's not put that into existence.
Okay.
Again, that's somebody I was never a fan of him anyway.
Okay.
So
anybody? Who are you a fan of, Kim?
I don't know.
Prince.
I like Prince.
Okay.
There were people that I won't say that I never listened to the Chronic album because I did. I enjoyed it, but as far as like a fan, no, I wasn't a fan.
No. See, there are certain albums that if they put me on an island and I couldn't.
Chronic is one.
Chronic would be on the list.
Really?
Yeah, it would be on the list. There are some other things on the list. I'm not going. That's not. This is a different show.
Yeah. But I like this list we just started.
Yeah, no, that would. And so music to me, and I think for a lot of people, it's important. But me as an artist, it really is something that you can allows you to express yourself in a certain way. So it's a completely different. I always think about the songs that Michael Jackson did when he was 12 years old, but it sounds like he's singing about being in love and somebody leaving him. It's all an illusion. It's about the art.
But see, you're a creative. Yeah. So as a creative, you too, Mo, you're a creative as well. Y'all would see it like that. Me, I'm not an artist. I'm not a creative like that. So I don't see it like that. I see it as the man, his music. They are one and the same. So that's how I see it.
And the sad thing is, the list would be so long for people who might not have actually done something, but knew something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just like even when I think about the Tammy Terrell story and how David Ruffin beat her. It was either David Ruffin or it was James Brown. Beat her with a helmet, a motorcycle helmet. And supposedly that was one of the things that caused her aneurysms. It was like everybody knew that she was just supposed to be a punching bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody knew about it. They knew that this was happening. Just like they knew with Tina. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They knew it was happening.
And nobody did nothing.
I think
but Tina.
At that time, it was such a male-dominated industry.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
It still continues to be.
It still is, but times are different, right? Yeah. At that time, women were looked at as property. And so then you have the same thing with Elvis, how he married young Priscilla, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, these men marrying these young girls.
Way on.
And while there was outrage, just be outraged. Okay, now you go sit down for a little while and it go away.
So we canceling Elvis too?
No, but listen, it's evolved. You were talking about the men, right? Because we've evolved. You can't disrespect your woman in the house who's bringing home the money and have to talk to this exec who's above you and she's a female. You're surrounded by it now, so you have to deal with it. You got to care about what we care about.
It's no longer that industry where
we have to be humanized, unfortunately.
Now, you know better, you do better. So you're going to be looked at sideways if you're marrying a 12-year-old or 13-year-old, or especially when it's your cousin. Somebody's going to look at you a little weird. And it's going to be a rumbling about the fact that you've married this child. So, and then Jerry Lee Lewis, he married her. And I think it was in London when it came out that she was his wife. And if I'm not mistaken, she said she was his wife, and that caused the stir.
This is the thing. At that age, she had to get parental consent.
Her parent knew.
And so if they consent.
No, back then it wasn't like that. Because check this out. There were certain countries, certain states that you can go to that you didn't have to have parentals back then.
Because the age of consent was low.
How low is it?
No,
the
back
age
then
of consent would be low.
Like 10?
Right now it's just now 17.
Well, I mean, Utah didn't happen by accident. Huh? Utah didn't happen by accident.
The whole state.
True.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story for
it is a whole nother
sister wives.
A whole nother can of worms.
It is, but it's still a male dominated that whole culture. Yeah. So again,
oh no,
I could have 10 wives. Oh, I'm gonna be a Mormon.
Go buy some land, like you said in Utah.
Okay. They're all gonna work for me and do everything.
Let's move out there.
I want chicken pot pie tonight. Number 3.
Right.
That's the guy, Nature Boy, I think his name. It's a black guy. And he had the cult Nature Boy, and he's like in jail for the rest of his life.
What?
Yeah, and it was a pretty girl that he was trying to get with and everything.
I think it was because he...
Can you explain who Nature Boy is?
Yeah,
I can't remember the story.
I don't want to tell the story wrong, but he was a cult leader, quote unquote cult leader. He had these women that followed him or followed, I guess, his teachings. That would be the right word for it. His
only
teaching.
Women?
It's only women. He had 5 women and they were following him. The story I heard of one, she met him on the internet or they had been friends, whatever, and she went to visit and then she decided this is where I want to be. And she was with him. But I don't know if he a kid or beat a kid. I think he's in jail for the rest of his life. because whatever he did, it wasn't that he poly or whatever.
Maria, whatever. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't that he was poly. He did something. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about.
Look it up,
it's on
Elise. You got
YouTube.
the phone.
What
You
did
got
he
a
do?
phone. My phone is dead. If my phone wasn't dead, I'd look it
We'll
up.
look it up later. I'll cancel him later.
Listening.
Once I figure out what he
Can
did.
you put him
then
on the cancellation
Okay,
list
he's
as
on the
pending?
list.
He's pending.
Something.
I don't know what he did,
It's
but
something. Nature Boy is a black guy, and I want to say he was in Texas, and these women joined his cult and took their children and the whole nine, and one had to put a restraining order on him. She ran from him because he wouldn't let her out the cult, and it was just a big mess. I'm surprised y'all haven't heard about that.
no, Kim is the one who loves cult leaders.
Yeah, but
I don't love cult leaders.
I mean, no, you
like documentaries of cults because I find them fascinating. And I have said before, I could lead a cult.
Yeah, you could.
Did you see the
certain.
one of that lady? I think she was about our age, but she found herself going more and more into this thing where she believed she was Mother God.
Mother God, yeah, Mother
oh
God.
my God, did y'all see
Yeah,
that? No,
Mother God.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Was it on the Cult Leader channel?
She's a cult leader. She's a cult leader, yeah, Mother God. She sure was.
You got to pay for that
Listen.
streaming
And
service.
she had two husbands.
Netflix. It was
Yeah,
Netflix.
I saw her on HBO Max.
Oh,
Mother
my
God.
bad. You're
There we
right.
go.
Mother
I'm not
God.
on the right service.
I'm about to check.
I'm gonna check on the
Mother
right
God,
service.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
She had two
HBO.
husbands.
Listen,
You need to watch.
She set up. Listen.
Because there's aliens involved.
Yeah.
There's all this
Aliens?
spirituality
Yeah.
involved.
Oh man, it's getting good.
Listen,
It's crazy story.
it's crazy shit.
But it just goes to show that people want to believe in something.
Yes,
And so this is why cults are
not just
whatever.
cults, but celebrity and fame.
They wanna
is
believe in
exactly the same.
You want to believe in something.
People are worshiping at the feet of celebrities. Like they're walking on air. They can do no wrong. The rules don't apply to them.
Well, I don't think my cult leader name would be Mother God or anything like that.
But what would your cult leader name
I don't
be?
know. I've never really given it much thought, but I'll think on it and get back with y'all on
Okay,
it.
you think.
But I do believe
I don't want
I could
a cult
run a
leader
cult.
name.
Back to the cancellation list.
I'm gonna get canceled for being a cult leader.
No, we trying to figure out who we gonna cancel next. That's all we trying to
So it's gonna
do.
be like-
Side note.
Yeah,
what were you saying, Mo?
I have no idea no more.
I'm sorry.
I think
Sorry, y'all.
it's okay because we have our conversations.
Yeah.
So I
Speaking of canceling, and then you had a thought, and then it
Yeah,
fled.
hey,
it
yes,
fled.
yes.
We don't know where it is.
probably not.
You need a moment.
I think I got
You need a
silver in my
moment of
water.
silence. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, time up.
Okay. People will believe anything.
They will. They will.
And you know what, guys? We are not trying to be canceled for real
No.
at all.
No, we're just
These are
talking.
just our genuine
But I
conversations.
bet you're gonna learn something.
Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
will.
laugh at something. You're gonna,
Or at
You're gonna
least
look
hear
it
an
up.
honest opinion. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what we're giving. It's just our
because we
opinion.
don't agree on everything at all.
Y'all just noticed.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a Spotify playlist of all the canceled artists. I may put it in the comments.
Kim ain't gonna be able to listen to it.
I'm not listening. man.
I'm
We're gonna have
with
some
you,
Chris
Kim.
Brown. We're gonna have a little
listening.
Michael. We're gonna have.
And
a
it's so
I'm
sad
not-
because
okay,
I
not advocating.
never canceled Chris Brown, and I love Chris Brown. I love him. I love to see him dance. I love to hear his songs, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm able to cancel some people and not.
How you gonna be a partial canceller?
I don't know.
It's not an easy question, right? It's not an
Right.
easy. It's not an easy answer, I should say, because
Yeah.
you don't. I understand the argument on the other side about the art. It is important, and it's culturally very important for Black Americans, or if it's a Black man or whatever. But I just can't get down. At the end of the day,
I
can't
just say
be about-
to hit him where it hurts. Even though we play it, you just don't get paid for it no more.
or all the proceeds go to your victims.
That would be cool too. Because like I said, if you say you're gonna cancel him back to him, that does mean everybody he's affiliated with musically.
And Diddy.
Same thing. I've never liked him.
Never liked
right.
him.
Why everybody
by
said
himself.
that? Somebody was dancing to it. I
Not
don't know.
me.
Somebody.
No.
Not me.
Not his
Always
music.
been
His
lame.
producing.
Him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always been less.
He's been
Always.
lame, but I think everybody really saw how lame he was when he started that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
really shows
When he had to
personality
walk
that-
to
making the
juniors.
band.
making the band.
Yeah, making it. And he had to walk to Junior's
To
for
get
some
the
cheesecake,
cheesecake.
and then he didn't even eat it.
And that was like the very first episode.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, dick.
But it made for good TV, and y'all still talking
That is-
about it, so it worked.
Yeah.
It did. No, you're right.
And I would love to hear from Farnsworth Bentley. He went on about his business.
Yeah.
He never talks about him. I would love
He said he
to
was
hear.
stealing. That's why he got fired.
Said he was what?
He was stealing from them.
But he had to have known. He knew what was going on.
Oh, sure.
I always
I
say when they
wonder
want to
what
discredit.
he went through because he
That's
had
true.
to have gone through something
Yeah.
with them. So I'm just like curious. I would love to hear his.
He
his
wasn't
story.
stealing. He wasn't stealing.
No,
I don't believe
that's
he
what-
was stealing.
That's what
No,
she was
saying,
discredit.
He wasn't stealing. He was putting aside his pension because he knew some shit was gonna pop off eventually. You know
because
what?
he had so
Let me
many-
go ahead and go because I know too much.
Right.
Way
He had
too
so
much.
many, like he had that umbrella deal and he was always on TV dancing. You always saw
that's
him on
true.
television dancing.
And clothes.
But he did, and his umbrella deal was in major department stores.
You know what's sad? I never even realized he got canceled. Like when he just disappeared.
I don't think we canceled him. I think he just disappeared.
oh,
He just went into
he just disappeared. So now we're talking about people who disappeared.
He's alive.
I heard that he's got a family. Like he just
Yeah.
went on about his business. So I would just love to hear how his time with Diddy was. And I think what's crazy to me, even though I love to hear his side of the story, now when we cancel these people, these artists, or when they do something, other people, these random people start coming out and saying, oh yeah, he did XYZ.
They jumping
why
on
weren't
the
you saying it in the beginning?
bandwagon.
Yeah, why didn't you tell us that in the beginning? Like when Cassie came out with her story, even before the video came out,
She didn't
said,
come out with her story. She came out with her
lawsuit, correct.
Yeah.
When she came out with the lawsuit, then people were like, oh, he did XYZ. He's done this. He's done that. Why weren't y'all talking about that a long time ago? Because you knew to keep your mouth shut.
You did because you were probably scared. You're waiting for that one
so.
dam to break, but you're not going to be that dam. You're holding that dam back because once it goes, anything can happen. They might have been scared. That power and money is real when you're talking about people like Diddy and R. Kelly and stuff.
That could have been.
I want to say something. This is really highly controversial. But I'm saying,
God.
yeah, I know it's real bad.
I thought we
too.
were going to do light.
No, this like I saw this some kind of expose about there was somebody else who refused to give up their seat before Rosa Parks. You know, this
Yes,
whole thing.
that's true. A young girl.
Yeah, and
Why
so,
have we pivoted?
okay, hold on. And then they said
She
that
going
Rosa
somewhere.
Parks' husband had a
Had a car. Right.
Come on now.
Huh?
Where you going, baby?
I know.
With this.
Because we going to put you off the bus.
Okay, you'll put me off the bus for this
'Cause
one.
What?
No, we
What
just
is
asked
that?
Oh,
him.
you about to lose your black card, Shell? Don't do it.
I'm just saying, but if he had a car,
Why is she on the bus?
why's she on the bus?
Maybe he
maybe
worked
he only had
late
one
night,
car.
and she had to be at work in the morning. He got there afterwards.
I'm just saying, if he would have picked her up and she was tired and stuff, I don't know.
But yeah, you're right. There was a young black girl before
And yeah,
Rosa
but they don't
Parks.
talk about her.
They don't talk
it's
about
all
her
about
because-
Rosie and her husband who had a car.
It's because Rosa Parks. It's because Rosa Parks was what, NAACP secretary or something.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, she had
She had
something.
power.
There was
She had some
something that
connection.
she had. She had some kind of she had some kind of connection. I think she was the NAACP secretary. I think.
Okay.
And that's how they went with that.
Okay.
That's
You're
how
not
the
making the
ball.
argument any better.
I'm just saying, maybe I'll get canceled for that one.
You might.
I hope not. They ain't
Not
revoke
on
your
our
black
watch.
card.
Yep. Yeah, it'll probably be the card first.
I'm okay with it. I'm gonna call my husband and go on the other side.
I can't.
I'm going on the other side. I'm all right with that.
Who listener would you cancel other than Rochelle and us? Who would you cancel, or who has been canceled that you just absolutely love? You cannot let them go, and you will not let them go. We're curious. Let us know in the comments.
Don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow.
We want to thank you for joining us.
As always, we are the confidants, and it's been fun.
It's been something.
We have come to the end of our conversation. We certainly thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again. Always remember that the journey of friendship is built on the path of loyalty, acceptance, and grace.